Have you ever wondered why she stops getting excited to hear from you, even when you're the one doing everything right? You text her first. You reply fast. You say yes all the time. You give her attention, compliments, even gifts. But suddenly, she becomes cold. She seems bored. And the worst part? She pulls away. Why? You're probably asking yourself, what did I do wrong? But maybe it's not about what you did wrong. Maybe it's about what you did too much. Let me tell you something most guys don't realize. Being predictable is boring. Imagine this. You get a brand new toy. It's fun, shiny, exciting. You play with it every day. But then, after a while, it just sits on the shelf. Why? Because you already know what it does. It never changes. It never surprises you. It becomes normal. Now, think about how that feels. The same thing happens when a girl feels like she knows exactly what you'll say, do, or feel. She doesn't feel butterflies anymore. She doesn't feel mystery. And without mystery, attraction starts to fade. But here's the thing. You weren't too nice. You weren't too caring. The problem was, you were too easy to figure out. She didn't have to wonder. She didn't have to guess. And she didn't have to chase. You were always right there. Always showing up. Always calling. Always texting. Always proving something. And even though your heart was in the right place, it made her feel one thing. Comfort without excitement. And that comfort turned into emotional sleep. Now imagine something different. Imagine you're not always available. You take your time. You have a life. You've got goals. You've got focus. And sometimes you're just quiet. Not rude. Not cold. Just still. And suddenly, she starts to wonder, what's on his mind? Why hasn't he texted yet? Is he thinking about me? Or is he too busy chasing something bigger? Boom. Now you are the mystery. Now you are the one she's trying to figure out. And that mystery, that's what pulls her in. Not because you're trying to control her, but because you're finally in control of yourself. And let's get something clear right now. This is not about being fake. This is not about pretending. This is not about playing games. It's about becoming a man who is centered. A man who doesn't have to chase. Because he already knows his worth. And that kind of man, he doesn't beg to be loved. He lets love recognize him. Here's the truth no one told you when you were younger. A man who is always there, always predictable, and always chasing, becomes invisible. But a man who values his time, a man who moves with purpose, a man who speaks less but moves stronger, he becomes unforgettable. So, I want to ask you something important now. Are you willing to stop being predictable? Are you ready to stop living for her responses and start living for your mission? Because when she doesn't know your every move, she'll start watching more closely. She'll start wondering. she'll start missing you. She'll stop leading and start following. The power of silence. Have you ever noticed when you're super quiet, people start paying more attention? Like when the classroom suddenly goes quiet and everyone wonders what just happened. That moment feels powerful, right? Now imagine if you became that silence, still, calm, but so powerful that she can't stop thinking about what you're not saying. Here's what most guys never understand. Talking too much kills curiosity, and curiosity is what pulls her in. When you always explain yourself, when you always share every detail of your day, when you're always filling the space with words, you give her a complete picture. And once she sees the full picture, there's nothing left to explore. But when you learn the art of saying less, when you let quiet moments breathe, she starts to lean in. She starts to guess. She starts to wonder what's going on inside your head. Silence doesn't mean you're ignoring her. It means you're in control of your words. You speak when it matters. You don't rush to fill the space. You don't over-explain. And that control? It's attractive because it shows her something most men can't show. Emotional strength. The kind of strength that doesn't need noise to be felt. Imagine this. You're out with her. You're calm. You're not trying to impress. You're not oversharing. You're just present. And she starts asking questions. She starts opening up. She starts chasing your mind. Because you gave her space to miss your voice. You gave her room to think. And in that space, attraction grows like fire in the dark. Now here's what's wild. Most men think talking a lot shows confidence. But real confidence? It's quiet. It's peaceful. It doesn't try to prove anything. A man who can sit in silence and stay calm, he owns the room. He owns himself. And that makes him impossible to forget. So what does this mean for you? It means you don't always need to explain yourself. You don't always need to respond right away. You don't always need to speak just to keep her attention. Because when you hold silence like a sword, people notice. She notices. She feels it. She respects it. And slowly, she starts to crave that quiet power. Let your silence speak louder than your words. Let your calm be louder than your reactions. And let your presence be so still. It feels like thunder waiting to strike. Now, are you ready to learn how your absence from the crowd makes you rise above it? Because next stage is not just about silence. It's about the strength of walking alone and still being followed. The mystery of the man who walks alone. Have you ever seen a man walking by himself? No smile, no rush, just walking calm. Like he owns the world, and everyone just turns to look. Like, who is that guy? That's the man she can't forget. Not because he was loud, not because he was flashy, but because He didn't need anyone. And that shook her curiosity. Let's break something big today, brother. Most guys think they need to be surrounded by people to look powerful. They chase validation from others. They chase likes, approval, constant attention. But the man who can walk alone, and not just walk, but enjoy it, that man is rare, and women feel it right away. Why? Because when you're alone and still strong, it shows her something deeper than muscles or money. It shows her that your peace doesn't depend on her. Think about this. When you're okay by yourself, you become unpredictable. She can't control you. She can't push you. She can't wrap you around her finger. And that drives her crazy in the best way. Because you're not the guy begging for her time. You're not the guy chasing her attention. You're the one who's out there, doing your thing, living your life, focused on your mission. And when she sees that, she doesn't feel pressure. She feels pull. She starts wondering, where does he go when he's not with me? What's on his mind? Why is he so calm, even without me around? That's when the game changes, because the man who walks alone creates scarcity. And what's scarce becomes valuable. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't about being cold or distant. It's not about ghosting or avoiding love. It's about building a life so rich, so full of meaning, that anyone who enters it feels lucky just to be there. Your walk alone should not feel lonely. It should feel powerful. Your silence shouldn't feel like punishment. It should feel like presence. When you master that, you don't chase her. She finds herself following you, without even knowing why. So here's the truth most won't tell you. You don't need to shout to be seen. You don't need to chase to be chosen. You need to walk with purpose, with peace, and with pride in who you are, even if no one is clapping. Because when a man walks alone and still stands tall, that's when people follow, especially her. The power of a man who feels without reacting. Have you ever seen someone smile while chaos happens around them? Like, people are yelling, problems are rising, and yet he just stands there. Calm, breathing, quiet. And you think to yourself, why isn't he panicking? What does he know that I don't? That's not magic. That's emotional power. And it makes you feel something deep. Now imagine how she feels when you become that man. Most guys, they blow up when something small goes wrong. They get angry, they panic, they chase, they beg, all because their emotions run wild. But a real man, one who's grounded in who he is, doesn't react fast. He feels everything, but stays calm inside. That calmness, it's not weakness. It's strength that's under control. And guess what? Women don't expect that. They expect men to lose it. They expect you to chase or argue or prove yourself. But when you stay calm, it throws her off. In the best way. Let's say she pulls away, or she acts distant, or maybe she tests you with her words. You don't flinch, you don't yell, you don't chase. You breathe, you stay cool, you stay you. That moment, that's when she starts looking at you differently. Wait, why isn't he reacting? Is he that sure of himself? Did I just lose him? That emotional stillness, it doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care, without letting it shake you. You don't need to explode to prove you feel. You don't need to chase to prove you care. You just stay in your lane. You stay in control. Not to dominate her, but to respect yourself. See, when a woman feels that your emotions are in your hands, not hers, she feels safe. She feels drawn in. She feels curious. Because you don't act like most men. You're not ruled by emotion. You're guided by it. That makes you rare. Here's something deep. A calm man is a dangerous man. Not because he hurts people, but because nothing can move him unless he chooses. He doesn't react. He responds. And in a world full of chaos and loud noise, that quiet power, it speaks louder than words. She can't predict you. She can't control you. But she can feel you, and that's what keeps her drawn to your presence. The scarcity signal that hits her deep. Imagine walking into a store. Everything's on the shelf, easy to grab, always there. Feels kind of boring, right? Now, imagine there's one thing, just one. It's behind glass, hard to reach. Only a few people ever get it. Which one do you want more? Yep, the rare one. The one that's hard to get. The one that doesn't chase you. Because it knows its value. Now what if you became that? Let me tell you something that most guys never understand. If you're always around, you become invisible. If you're always texting, you become predictable. If you're always available, you feel less special. But when you focus on your life, your mission, your world, you naturally become more scarce. And that scarcity? It's a silent message that says, I'm not here to be picked. I already picked myself. Now listen closely. This isn't about ignoring her. It's not about being rude. It's not about playing tricks or games. It's about being a man who has things to do. A man who is building something real. A man whose time matters. You don't make yourself less available on purpose. You just are. Because you're living with purpose. And women can feel that. Let's break this down simple. When you're always there, there's no mystery. No wonder, no question. But when she doesn't know exactly where you are, what you're thinking, when she'll hear from you next, her mind starts working. She wonders, she imagines. And in that space of not knowing, attraction grows. The secret? You're not trying to be mysterious. You just are, because your life is rich. Your world is full. And she has to step in if she wants to experience you. You're not empty. waiting for her. You're full, with or without her. And that is what changes the game. Want her to crave your energy? Don't give it away for free. Don't throw it around. Make it rare. Make it real. Make it yours. That's the scarcity signal. She can't explain it, but she feels it. And when she does, she won't be able to predict you, because you're not reacting to her world. You're busy building your own. Now, are you ready for the next stage? Because up next is a truth most men fear. Why making her your purpose destroys your power. Want to hear it? The danger of making her your purpose. What happens when a strong tree tries to grow, but it wraps its roots around another tree instead of the ground? It falls. Now what happens when a man wraps his whole life around a woman? He falls too. Let's talk about why making her your everything actually makes her feel nothing. Most guys think, if I give her all my time, if I show her she's my world, if I make her my purpose, then maybe, just maybe, she'll love me back. But it never works like that. Not really. Instead of being drawn to you, she starts to feel something weird. Like she's trapped in your attention. Like she's responsible for your joy. Like she's not choosing you anymore. She's just carrying you. That's heavy. And she will want to run. Now take a deep breath and hear this. A woman doesn't want to be your world. She wants to be part of a world you've already built. She wants to enter your story, not become the only thing inside it. When a man has no mission, no purpose, no path, he clings, he begs, he forgets who he is, and that pushes her away. But when a man knows what he's building, when he wakes up with fire in his heart, when he walks forward, strong, focused, calm, she feels it. She sees you chasing something bigger than her. And guess what? That's what makes her look at you like you're the prize. Because now you are. The truth is simple, my friend. A woman doesn't want to lead your life. She wants to watch you lead yours. She wants to feel safe in your calm, excited by your vision, inspired by your fire. When she sees you don't need her to survive, that's when she starts feeling like she needs you. So don't shrink to fit inside her world. Expand your own. Don't give her your crown. Wear it proudly. She will notice, she will feel it, and she will come closer. Not because you chased her, but because you stayed true to you. Emotional control makes you magnetic. Have you ever seen a man smile while the whole world tried to break him? It's strange, right? You stare and think, what does he know that I don't? That right there is power, and women can feel it too. Let me tell you something most guys never hear. Your emotions are not the enemy, but how you act on them. That's where men either rise or fall. Most guys, when they feel hurt, they react. They yell, they beg, they chase, they cry in front of her just to show they care. But that's not strength. That's emotional chaos. And chaos isn't attractive. It's confusing. She wants to feel safe in your energy, not like she has to manage your storms. Now imagine this. She pulls away a little. She becomes cold. She stops replying fast. Most men, they panic. They text her more. They try to fix it. They ask, "Did I do something wrong?" But not you. You stay calm. You breathe. You live your day like a man who knows his worth. You don't collapse. You stand still. She watches you. She wonders, why isn't he freaking out? And suddenly, you're more interesting than ever. Here's the truth. When you can feel emotions but not be ruled by them, you become unshakable. That's called emotional mastery. And that's when she knows she can't push you around. She can't predict you. She can't break you. She has to respect you. You don't need to fake it. You don't need to act like a robot. You can feel. You're human. But your power comes from responding, not reacting. Speak slow. Look calm. Move with purpose. And suddenly, she feels your energy more than ever. Not because you shouted louder, but because you stayed quiet longer. Here's the truth. Stillness is louder than noise. And silence can make her miss you more than words ever could. Let mystery do the talking. What if the less you say, the more she feels? What if staying quiet sometimes makes her think about you all night? Sounds wild, right? But that's the power of mystery. Let's break it down like this. People are used to patterns. They expect things. They think they know what's coming next. And that's the problem. Most guys become way too easy to read. They text her every morning. They compliment her every hour. They tell her how they feel before she even asks. At first, she might enjoy it. But then, it becomes normal, expected, predictable. And once something becomes predictable, it loses spark. Here's the truth that no one tells you. Mystery creates tension, and tension creates attraction. It makes her mind light up with questions like, where is he? What's he thinking? Why do I miss him when I don't even know why? That's the space where desire lives. Now let's flip the script. You don't always tell her what you're doing. You don't announce every move. You don't explain your silence. Not because you're playing games, but because you're focused on your life. She sees that you're present, but not chasing. Available, but not attached. Suddenly she leans in more. She pays closer attention. She values your words when you finally speak. Why? Because they're rare. And what's rare feels more powerful. This doesn't mean you act cold. It means you become thoughtful. Speak less, but mean more. Don't show your whole hand. Let her wonder a little. That's not manipulation. That's depth. And depth is unforgettable. So ask yourself, when was the last time you let silence speak for you? Maybe it's time to stop giving so much and start letting your energy lead the way. Want to go deeper? The next stage reveals a truth about scarcity that flips attraction upside down. The power of scarcity. Why less is truly more. What if being everywhere all the time actually pushes her away? What if showing up too much makes you less interesting? Sounds crazy, right? But here's the secret no one tells you. Scarcity is magnetic. Think about this. When something is easy to get, people don't want it as much. Like candy that's always in the bowl, you stop caring. But candy that only comes once in a while, suddenly you crave it. In relationships, it works the same way. If you're always there, texting every day, answering every call, always ready, she starts to think, is he really that into me? Or is he just bored? She doesn't feel special anymore. Because when you're too available, your value drops. But when you live your life fully, busy, focused, growing, you create natural gaps. You're not ignoring her. You're just living your own story. This absence isn't about playing tricks. It's about being a man who has real things going on. And that makes you rare. And rare feels valuable. Scarcity is not about making her chase you. It's about making her want to be with a man who doesn't need her, but chooses her. When you're less available, she notices. She wonders where you are. She feels the pull to reconnect. But here's the catch. Scarcity only works when it's real. If you pretend to be busy just to get attention, she will see right through it. True scarcity comes from purpose and self-respect. You don't drop everything for her. You don't chase or beg. You simply live with passion and let your absence speak louder than words. Ask yourself, are you showing your true worth by being truly busy? Or are you just filling space to seem important? The next stage will dive into a secret power that every man can use. How mastering your emotions makes you unshakable and irresistible. Are you ready to unlock it? Emotional mastery. The calm in the storm that draws her in. Have you ever noticed how some men stay calm no matter what happens? Like nothing can shake them. Not anger, not sadness, not stress. And somehow, that calm makes them more powerful and magnetic. Why? Because women are drawn to a man who controls his emotions without forcing it. Here's the truth. Real strength isn't about hiding feelings or pretending you don't care. It's about understanding your emotions and staying steady when everything around you feels wild. When you stay calm, you show her something deep. You don't panic. You don't lose control. You don't get needy. This calmness is like an unbreakable shield. It gives you freedom. Freedom from chaos, drama, and emotional ups and downs. And guess what? Women feel safe and excited around this kind of man because he is the calm in their storm. Most guys react fast. They shout, chase, or get upset. But you don't. You master yourself. That's what makes your energy different, strong, and unpredictable in the best way. It's not about forcing control or being cold. It's about having true power over your feelings. And this power, it makes you peaceful inside and magnetic outside. Ask yourself, are your emotions running you? Or are you running your emotions? If you can stay calm, no matter what life throws at you, You become someone she wants to trust, respect, and be around. So now the big question is, will you choose to be the calm in the storm, or get lost in the noise like everyone else? The journey to true attraction, freedom, and peace starts here. Are you ready to own it?